All right, so now we're gonna hop into our 10 Ultimate Truth Girls book, and we're going to finish off. I don't believe we finished off the self-worship chapter, so we're gonna finish that one. We're gonna finish off the self-worship chapter. I fixed my camera now, but we'll just work through the first video. How about that, huh? All right, so self-worship. This is a really, really good chapter. Just speaking about, you know, how we look at ourselves and how we're worshiping ourselves, and should we be worshiping ourselves, and the where that comes from, the want or the need to even worship yourself. So we're going to finish off on page 103 in the self-worship chapter, which is chapter, let's see, 5. So we're going to start on page 103. It says, joy Jesus, others, yourself. Your greatest call in life is to love others. You can achieve your wildest dreams, but if you fail to love, you failed at life. Love puts the needs of others first. It shows kindness and respect, not to win popularity contests, but because kindness and respect reveal God's mercy and goodness to others. It passes on the grace you've received. Love doesn't keep score. It doesn't accept payback. It doesn't have hidden agendas or use people. Since you may use someone without realizing it, it's important to consider the motive behind your actions. Why are you doing what you're doing? Ask yourself, why am I doing this? Am I passing on God's love, or am I trying to earn favor from this person? It's human nature to assume our motives are all good. So ask God for clarity. Ask God for clarity. Pray for help and seeing the true state of your heart. Only when your motives are pure can you love others properly and serve God. Only when your motives are pure can you love others properly and serve God. So funny, we were talking about purity earlier too, and how to have purity and just like the cleanliness, just good, pure. It's nothing wrong with it. It's pure, right? We're all selfish by nature. We need to understand that. We're all selfish by nature. We all put desires of our body over desires in our soul because it's an easier way to live. But when you live for the instant gratification of your body, you empty your soul. You starve yourself spiritually. Come on. Jesus is the solution to selfishness. He is the solution. If you are finding yourself being selfish, or if you are finding yourself not wanting to do something or wanting it to be all about you, understand that there is a cure to that, and it's Jesus. By putting him first, others second, yourself third, you align your heart with God's. Only then can you build monuments for God's kingdom that count. Only then can you be saved from the self-worship that feels good in the moment, but ultimately destroys you. So I have a question for you. Does social media affect your self-esteem? Do you ever base your self-worth on how many likes you get or post selfies to draw compliments? It's a good question to ask. I know I used to. When I was on social media, you know, pretty heavy a few years ago, I used to, okay, this picture must be cute. I got 100 likes, you know, or I know if I pose like this, or if I smile like this, or if the lighting is like this, then I'll probably get more likes. And then when I didn't, I'll kind of look at it like, wait, why? What's going on? Yeah, I don't know what y'all talking about, you know, but I did. I would base my esteem on how many people liked me or not. And you gotta be careful with that. You have to be careful with that, because what that also shows too is a lack of identity. Who are you? Beyond the likes, beyond the cute pictures, beyond the makeup, who are you? And if you can't answer that question and really understand what you're saying and believe what you're saying is truth, then you will always be pulling and reaching from other people to fulfill that identity, to tell you who you are, to tell you how much you're worth, to tell you your value, to tell you how good you look. So understand that identity comes from God. And understanding who He is, knowing who He is, in return, you will know who you are. Knowing your Creator will then show you and help you understand why you were created. So get to know God. All right, so let's move on to chapter 7, patience. Truth number 4, get comfortable, girl, with being uncomfortable. Otherwise, you'll never stick to your guns. Here we go. So we'll just read a couple pages of this. Everyone in school liked Gina, even though she was a sophomore. The most popular juniors and seniors had started inviting her to their parties. Gina's quick wit and warm personality were easy draws. She appealed to people at all levels of the social totem pole, from nerds and overachievers to cheerleaders and jocks. Her best friends, Annie and Bentley, went to a few parties with her, but after being ignored all night by the stuck-up seniors, they swore they'd never go back. The popular crowd didn't take to them like they did Gina. Although no one said it, their company wasn't wanted. When Gina got elected to the 10th grade homecoming court, a senior named Mandy Jenkins up for homecoming queen took Gina under her wings. She invited Gina into her circle and arranged a shopping trip so they could find homecoming dresses together. Gina couldn't decide what Mandy Jenkins saw in her, but the endorsement upped her rank in the popular crowd. When Mandy's best guy friend, John Wilson, asked Gina to homecoming so they could double date with Mandy and her boyfriend, Gina was ecstatic. John Wilson was the hottest guy in school. For years, Gina had secretly crushed on him, and now this? Gina couldn't wait to tell Annie and Bentley, but their reaction surprised her. John Wilson is a jerk, they told her. You're insane to go with him. They also called Mandy two-faced and fake. It irritated Gina that they judged Mandy and John when they barely knew them. Maybe if they tried being nice, they'd see a different side. Homecoming night was a magical for Gina despite the tension with her best friends. The football team won by a landslide. Mandy was crowned homecoming queen and Gina got treated like royalty. As her dad escorted her onto the field at halftime, he said he was proud of her. Gina loved seeing her father in good spirits. After losing his job, he rarely smiled anymore. The post-game party for seniors was held at a farm outside of town. There were no chaperones. Of course, just kicks, hay, and a rowdy band you could hear a mile away. When John left Gina's side to get drinks, she suddenly felt awkward. Everyone at the party was drinking, and half the girls were drunk already. Mandy had promised to stick by Gina, but when Gina glanced around, she saw Mandy dancing to the band and doing shots. It hit Gina then how much she missed Annie and Bentley. If they were here, she wouldn't be the only one sober. The senior parties were uncomfortable when she had them to laugh with her at the maniacs losing control. But with her best friends and sidekicks gone, Gina grew insecure. She felt ridiculous, standing alone like a stick in the mud and outsider watching everyone else have fun. John came back with 2 plastic cups spilling over with beer. The smell and foam on top almost made Gina gag. She didn't want to drink, but under these circumstances, she saw no choice. After all, she was stuck here for 3 hours. What was she supposed to do? Spend the entire party being an outcast? Maybe this will help me relax, Gina told herself as she took the cup. Maybe I won't be so nervous around John and his friends. Saying no at the senior parties was getting harder the more she came. She wanted people to like her and invite her back again. Gina tried to take a sip, but she couldn't. Her stupid conscience was nagging her. Why couldn't this be an easy choice? Why did it seem like no matter what she did, she still feel awkward? Moving on to the next page, page 126. The scripture reads, therefore do not be foolish, but understand what the Lord's will is. Ephesians 5:17. You can't go wrong doing what's right. Like Gina, we all wind up in situations that test us. In a matter of seconds, we're forced to make a choice that could hurt us or jeopardize our relationships. If you're a people pleaser, as many girls are, putting acceptance from others over personal well-being and doing anything to stay in someone's good graces. Letting your friend cheat off you so she won't get mad. You may be scared to risk your relationships. Are you scared to risk your relationships? Your friends mean the world to you. So how could you survive without them? What if they dropped you? What if you got left out of the parties? What if your best friend chose a new best friend or your boyfriend picked a new girlfriend? What then? The root of these what ifs is fear. And fear doesn't come from God. It comes from the enemy. F-E-A-R. Comes from the enemy. Satan wants you to believe you'll only be accepted if you follow the crowd. Man. He wants you to believe you have no alternative. But when it comes to your life, there's always a choice. And with God's help and grace, you can face your fears with confidence and choose what's right over what seems safe. God knows the peer pressure you're up against, and he doesn't leave you alone to deal with it. Throughout scripture, he reminds you not to fear, to leave the future to him, and have faith that he is in control. Who is in control? God is in control. Where should your faith be? It should be in God, because he is in control. Peer pressure isn't something you outgrow. I can attest to that. You never reach a point in life where you figure it all out and stop feeling tempted. There will always be people who try to persuade you to their way of thinking or make choices for you. It may be new friends or people you love and trust. In some cases, they may think they're doing you a favor. And others, they intentionally hope to mislead you. That is so true. Especially in the middle school age. I don't even care what age it is. But especially while you're in school, that is very true. Either way, it helps you to be prepared. Come on. It helps to practice early how to set your limits and say no. Nobody lives a positive life by accident. It takes conscientious effort and deliberation. Deciding ahead of time how you'll handle peer pressure makes you ready when the moment comes. Huh? So when you at the party, they drinking drinks, they're drinking alcohol. Are you going to drink alcohol? If you don't drink and you know you're not supposed to drink, you don't drink and you know you're not supposed to drink, your friend asking you, hey, come on, let's sip a little bit. Let's have a little fun. Woo-doo-woo-doo-woo. And you have a voice in your head that is saying, no, don't do it. What are you going to do? Ask yourself that right now and be honest. I'm going to tell you what I did. I sipped and made a fool out of myself. A straight fool out of myself. The moment you start drinking alcohol and you continue to drink it, but even just the moment you start drinking alcohol, you are giving your rights away to self-control. You are giving your rights away to self-control. You're saying with your actions, I don't want any self-control over my mind, over my body, over my actions. I don't want self-control. And I didn't have anyone talking to me the way I'm talking to you right now. I didn't have anyone talking to me like that and really helping me to understand beyond the aftermath of the moment I take that sip. Because everybody else around me is doing it. I'm in an environment where everybody else around me is doing it. You will lose control over yourself. And you are giving way to whatever could possibly happen to happen. Know what you're going to do before the peer pressure comes. I'm getting serious about this because you don't have to do those things. You don't have to do those things to be cool. You don't have to do those things to even have fun. You do not. And if you need to, then you need to go ahead and leave. It's not a matter of if you'll be pressured, but when. What you should know is this. People will push you as far as you let them, unless you establish parameters now. What are your parameters? What are your boundaries? You need to establish that now. You will be talked into things against your better judgment. You can't go wrong doing what's right. The safest choice is the right choice because it honors God and allows Him to bless you. I know you want to fit in. I know you want to be popular. But when fitting in and popularity are your goals, you're going to sail out. You'll do things you wouldn't normally do simply to earn approval. And we'll stop right there for today. You'll do things you wouldn't normally do simply to earn approval. That was the book 10 Ultimate Truths All Girls Should Know by Kari Kampakis. And this is awesome. And I love to read it with middle schoolers. So have a good one. Thank you. And we'll do it again week 6. Week 7 next week. All right. Bye.